Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday indeed. Crazy, it's already here. And we're above yesterday's high. What on earth? What is this sorcery? Crazy. I'm going to see if there's any other key levels from the past. What price are we at here? 5,950 basically. Okay, here we go. Oh, we still got quite a ways before that high. Crazy how far we've come though. My goodness. Little uptrend already looks like it's played out. Good morning, everyone, by the way. Paul, Shayak, Jonathan, Fernando, Squid, Yas, Archer, good morning. It is already Friday. We got some more movement in the market, and I'm kind of surprised we have some movement overnight. It's been pretty stale the last couple of days, but yeah, maybe today we can get something going. Currently, we don't have any uptrends in play. This uptrend looks, or sorry, we don't have any trends in play, really. This uptrend looks played out, the break in a new high, and this downtrend looks played out with a break and a new low. Overall bullish bias overnight. We are right at yesterday's high. Looks like that's about where we're going to open up. So it'll be interesting to see where the market goes from there. NQ has the same deal going. Uptrend's already played out. Downtrend not quite played out, but looks like it's headed that way. And NQ actually has some levels close by. It's below yesterday's high, and then it has a couple unbroken highs right above it from the end of February. If NQ gets above that, my goodness, it's going to be bullish. Hope everyone's good out there. Hope it's been a decent week for you. Been kind of a crazy one. Last couple of days have not been the best. Pretty choppy overall. Like 2 days ago, we didn't go anywhere. Yesterday, we didn't do much movement. And then the previous days before that, just grind straight up. But yeah, like I said, I hope it's been a decent one for you. There's been some good trades in there regardless, which is always the case. Even in crappy market conditions, there's always opportunities. Good morning, Tick Trader. Good morning, Yas. We do have the market open here in 30 seconds. Interesting little note is while S&P did get a completion of this move down, at the same time, Nasdaq is going higher. So we're seeing some relative strength in the Nasdaq. Instead of making a new low here, it made a higher high, and at the time a higher high. Market is now open though. NQ still working down in a downtrend there. S&P looks like it's been played out, but we will see. Good morning, Ron. I like this downtrend on NQ. Very clean, very orderly. Whereas on the ES, not so much. We had this spike down. We're just kind of drifting at an angle here. We could possibly have a wider downtrend. We're going to need to wait and see though. Morning, Neil. The gap, the overnight gap is already closed on ES. we still have a lot of gaps on the downside from all this movement. I don't think we're going to visit there. Today, we're going to need probably a news catalyst to get a drop like that. Which, speaking of which, I'm going to throw up my trade exchange news feed. I forgot to do that this morning, which I highly recommend in this environment. There is a link in the description. You got to be up on the news. The market is super sensitive to it. Yes, thank you, Jonathan. We do have consumer sentiment and inflation expectations this morning out of Michigan. So we'll want to be flat at 7 a.m. All right, we're continuing lower here. So we'll be looking at something like this. NQ already has a little break out of that downtrend. Not quite a new low yet, but we'll see. Matt7, what's up? Good morning. Do I have a website that you use to see historical figures for news that have dates and results? No. No particular website. I mean, you can obviously talk to ChatGPT, or just load charts, like load historical data, look at the charts themselves rather than a website. Not really sure if this ES channel is going to hold. We're on a pullback here. We have technically had a one attempt lower. Oh, pardon me. Could consider a short if we get that second attempt. All right, there's the official new low on NQ. S&P, this does look like a slight break of the channel, perhaps. Well, kind of, no, maybe not. I don't know. I don't really like this wide trend anyway. Oh, Matt, you don't know the dates for past results? Just that you can look up in ChatGPT. That's easy. ChatGPT, when were the dates for the FOMC release the last 5 years? When were the dates for etc. CPI? That's easy. Yeah, Forex Factory has past dates, but then you'll have to like scroll through all the lists and stuff. I don't know why you wouldn't use AI. You could send a letter. All right. NQ trend looks played out. We got to move down. Break new low. We would expect to bounce here. Yes, I'd expect the same. I don't like this wider trend. It just looks funky. It doesn't look right. I'm expecting a bounce on both. And yeah, we'll give today's price action a couple hours, but it's very possible that we settle into a Friday slowdown. Keep in mind always that institutions are the ones that move price, and institutions, they like weekends, right? You think Wall Street's hanging out till the very closing bell on Friday afternoon? Nah, dog. No way. Still pushing down here. This might be like a spike in a secondary channel on ES. But we can't really find that same pattern on Nasdaq. And overall, guys, this is a range, right? We haven't broke the overnight low, nor the overnight high. Same on ES. So even if like something looks good to one side or the other, it is still a range and will be until we break out of this. All right, so I will consider a short here on S&P if we reject the EMA twice. So I need to see the pullback to the EMA first, one attempt down, and that second pullback, we'll look for a bar there. We'll see if this reacts here, if the channel holds. Good morning, Matt. What's up? What's up? All right, looks like we might get our first attempt down here, perhaps. Hasn't happened yet. You'll see all the lows of all these bars unbroken so far. There it is. There's our first attempt down. Okay, let's see if this can push down a little bit and then pull back yet again. NQ still basically just in the middle of the range after that downtrend played out. No real setup there. We could consider a double higher low for a long since there's no downtrend in play. We have one higher low here. Maybe we can pop up and get one more, like so. All right, we are getting a push up there, so I'm going to be readjusting my trend. Obviously, the trend is played out. We are still just in the middle of the range. Keep that in mind. There is nothing that tempting here. Javi asking, have I ever done opposite trades at close to the same time on ES and Nasdaq, long and short? No. The best trades happen when they both align. So often that's a signal to just not take a trade. Like if you're looking at a long on ES and a short on Nasdaq, that misalignment is not good. Because think about it. The S&P and the Nasdaq are tracking mostly the same stuff with just different weights, right? The only real difference is the percentage that's allocated towards certain tickers. Like Nasdaq is more heavily allocated for like Apple and Microsoft, for instance. And S&P still tracks those, just not with as much weight. So you're tracking the same instrument. So if you see a discrepancy of like, we want to go long on this one and we want to go short on this one, something's not right there. So yeah, that's actually a good signal to just be like, I'm gonna wait here. The best trades are when the context is clear. Like, okay, both charts, we are going down. We are in a downtrend. We are looking for a pullback and a short. That's when you know you got some good context for a high probability setup. Little uptrend there on S&P. We'll see how it develops. If the EMA holds here, we might consider a long. This is pretty bad here, guys. We do have consumer sentiment now here in 5 minutes. So we'll cross our fingers. Hopefully that can jolt the market open. I don't think so. I don't think, honestly, the market's not sitting here waiting. Oh man, what's University of Michigan consumer sentiment? That's really going to move the needle. Yeah, tariffs are what the market cares about right now, and the interest rates. But we'll see. Either way, we're going to be flat for that news release. Unless, of course, you're trying something crazy with evals or something. This little uptrend here played out officially. We had a break and a new high. So no uptrend in play. We are waiting for the market, the next market cycle. ES is testing yesterday's high here again. Well, I guess for the first time. It hasn't tested it since the New York Open. We got a minute and a half now till the news. Right, we got about 20 seconds now till the news. Should see some volatility with this. Again, I'm not confident it's actually going to move the market in a significant way, as in starting a trend or anything, but should see some volatility either way. Woo-wee. There we go, baby. There we go. Consumer sentiment is lower than projected. And inflation expectations are higher than previously. So there you have it, folks. Consumers not too stoked. That's the that's your summary right there. Consumers not too happy. Bad outlook. So again, kind of what I expected. Some volatility, but not really, not causing a trend, right? NQ still right smack dab in the middle of the range. We do not have a trend active on either symbol right now. Well, this is some beautiful Friday action, eh, everybody? Hope you're excited. Hope you're thrilled to be part of the market today. Because the market is thrilled that you're here. Well, it's Friday. We should pass the time with some solid dad jokes. Please, please give your best. Remember, the goal is a groan. You're not looking for laughter, right? You're looking for a groan. That's how you know you've succeeded. Dad joke Friday. Share your best. I did learn something new the other day. Um, do you know what they call someone who raises hens? I didn't know this. A chicken tender. You're welcome. You are welcome. Ooh, T-Wood. I like the little drum symbol. That's the way to go. Ba-doom-tsh. Andrew, I spent a lot of time, money, and effort childproofing my house, but the kids still get in. That's good. That's good. Did you hear about the guy who he was an addict? Um, he was actually addicted to the hokey pokey, but it's all right. He turned himself around. Ba-doom-tsh. Grown. There you go, Bill. Good. That's what I'm looking for. The grown is what I'm looking for. I had a friend who was actually, it's a true story. Um, he was afraid of escalators for whatever reason. Yeah, he's afraid of escalators and he took steps to avoid them. Took steps to come on, come on. All right. I'll I'll stop. I'll stop. Everyone's like, unsubscribe. How do you unsubscribe? I'm out of here. Oh, John, that was really a groaner there. Martin says I asked my dad to make me soup, but he said he didn't think I'll fit in the pot. Oh man, you know there's something about being a dad. I don't know how many of y'all are parents, but all of a sudden those it just becomes a part of you, right? Like when my kids say, "I'm hungry," it's automatic. I don't even have to think about it. Hi, hungry. I'm dad. Like where did that come from? I don't know. It just happened. It's just there. It's a part of me now. I'm feeling that, Archer. Short day, long weekend. We are absolutely, market is flatlined right now, guys. If you have taken a trade, you need to take a good hard look in the mirror. You need to go to a 12-step program. This is nothing. This is complete sideways garbage. That's fair enough, Archer. Yeah, if your kids are grown up, dad jokes are they got a little different flavor to them, that's for sure. Bill asking if I use the code I am on Take Profit Trader, do you get the current promo no fee 30? Yes. My codes will get you the latest promo on whatever prop firm that you like. So, yes. And honestly, that Take Profit deal, very good. 30% off and no activation fee. So a lot of people are sleeping on deals like that. 'Cause it's like, oh, only 30% off. That doesn't seem like a lot. But guys, the main cost of getting funded is the activation fee. So if you're waiving that, like the total cost is probably, I'd have to do the math. The total cost is probably more like 80% off, really. So don't sleep on that deal from Take Profit Trader. Plus, you get funded and you can take daily payouts. That's another thing that, like, yeah, maybe you have a better sale at another firm, whatever. It's only $16 for an eval or something, but you're not going to be able to take payouts every single day. You're going to have to trade it a certain number of days and wait for the window, yada, yada, yada. With Take Profit Trader, like, dude, you make $500 today? Hey, take that out, you know? So that's a huge feature that gets slept on. Major value add. And then again, with waiving the activation fee, like, that's a no-brainer. So if you haven't tried Take Profit Trader, at least give it a try. Because I think it's got an edge up on a lot of other firms for that reason. No one else does that. In Q, we got a range within a range. We got the inception range here. Wow, guys, that is all I can say about today. Wow. Good thing though, on Nasdaq at least, this is actually a pretty nice consistent range. So if we get a little failed breakout, we could trade that. So if we get a nice bull bar here that looks like it's gonna break out of the range and then closes like that, I may take that. Or on the other side, if we get a nice bear bar here, fail to break out to the upside, I may take that. This is a really nice, consistent, tight range. And the majority of breakouts of a trading range will fail. So that's, yeah, let's look for that. Well, Shayak, have a good one, man. That's a good problem to have when your rough weeks still end up green. So, good job. Have a great weekend. Okay, here we go. We are moving up to the top of the range. Drum roll. Let's see if we can get a nice failed breakout. Also, I just realized I need to reload my charts. I've not done that yet. I got both charts reloading right now. Sounds good, Archer. See you in the Discord, man. Oh, bummer. Look at this, guys. I reloaded my chart. Look at that candle on S&P. Perfect failed breakout. Nice bullish bar coming off that failed breakout on the bottom. Shoot. Well, I wish I would have had that chart a little bit ago. If you did, that was a solid trade to take. This breakout's kind of starting to look legit. We'll see how it ends up. Watching both symbols here. The only problem with this now, though, is we have a short-term trend in play. So for a failed breakout, you need there to not be a trend in play. Right now we got this, so we have to wait. We have to be a little patient. Sean asking, once you pass the test for take profit, how do you get the pro account fees waived? It shows up as a credit, so it's not, there's not going to be anything in the email. You go in and pay for your account, and during that activation process, when you actually go to pay for your account, you'll see payment method, and there'll be like credit card, whatever, and then one of the options will be whatever it is, a credit or something, like a, I don't know what it's called, but you know what I mean. They'll have that as an option. So yeah, you're not going to get an email about it. Just go in and activate the accounts as normal, and then when you get to actually pay for them, there should be an option that is a credit to you. If it doesn't show up when you're doing that, then just email support. We're getting a little break of that uptrend. If this goes and makes a little new high and there's a bearish bar, we'll look to short that, right? Move up, break. If we get that new high and some sort of bearish bar, we can trade that as a failed breakout and look to take that down to the bottom of the range. Trading Tour asking, will I plan to take a trade on this session? Well, of course. I'm looking to trade all the time, right? But you can't control what the market gives you. So just because I want to trade doesn't mean that I will. It depends on what the market provides. You have to trade with an edge, guys. You have to wait for everything to line up. And if it doesn't, you don't trade. People got that so backwards. Everyone's like, oh, I got to find a trade today. No, you don't. Our goal is to make money, right? It's not to take trades. And honestly, one of the best things you can probably do to make money is take less trades. It's very paradoxical, but it's absolutely true. You are waiting for everything to line up. Yeah, sorry, Trading Tour. I'm not directing that at you specifically. I'm just, that sparked that thought for me. So nothing against you. It's okay to ask, right? But the question shows maybe like a slight misunderstanding of what trading is. Okay, NQ pushing back up. Whoopsies. Nice, Fernando. That's solid. A veteran in Wall Street that says traders should actually be waiters. Man, so true. So true. And the unfortunate thing is, like, with social media and everything, a false picture is painted. Like, because that's not, how exciting is that? You know, if your social media shows, hey, let's sit around and wait, guys. That'd be helpful because that's the reality. But, you know, if you make good content, it's active. It's, oh man, I found this trade and that trade, and I'm clicking this button and clicking that button, and money here and money there. And it creates this false perception of what people expect when they enter the markets. And then thus, people are taking way too many trades and trading without a real edge. If you trade without an edge, you are toast. Toast with butter. Yeah, so will I take this lower high on ES? Man. The problem is this uptrend doesn't have a new high. If this uptrend was played out, absolutely this lower high looks money. But because this uptrend still could get a new high, I think I'm going to wait. Want that new high first. NQ as well. I got to wait for that new high. NQ relatively weak to ES. Okay, so we have a new high on the S&P. I'm looking for a bearish bar here. Also want to just see where we're at as far as this potential measured move. Nice, we're right around it. So this would be the perfect time for the market to take a turn. But we need a good bar, and that ain't it. This is probably the last bar I'll consider. If it goes much higher, I'm gonna stop looking for a reversal. NQ still hasn't really made a new high. Ron asking, what is the buffer for take profits? I don't know what you mean by that. Feel free to shoot me a message on, you can ask just in the lounge and in the Discord. Describe what you mean by that. Do you mean the drawdown? Do you mean what you have to leave in your account to take payouts? What daily loss? Yeah, what are you talking about? Hit me up on Discord. Or here, I guess that's fine, if it's an easy explanation. Tempting bar on NQ. Looks like it's working, but can't do it without a new high. I gotta follow the rules. Good morning, Tom. Yeah, people did do a decent job smashing the like button today. All right, folks, what's up? I didn't even have to say anything. If you haven't smashed the like button, though, please do so. Dang it, guys. Look at this. That sucks. S&P dropped, but we did not have the bar. Oh, we were one tick away. We needed this to make a new high, to just tick higher and then turn down. And instead it just turned down. Man. Frustrates me. But I will not let it frazzle me. You know why? Because the market ain't going anywhere. There's going to be more setups. Everything will be okay. All right, so Ron, thank you for that clarification on Discord. Ron is asking about the take profit trader buffer, as in what do you have to leave in your account after the payout? Depends on what account size that you're getting. For the 50K account, you can take anything above 3K. So you get to 3K, you make 200, you can take it out that day. Then the next day, you make 500, you can take it out that day. Then the following day, you make 300, you can take it out that day. So yeah, once you reach that 3K threshold, you can make daily withdrawals every single day. It's beautiful. All right, so now we would need to get something down here. Unfortunately, we have the same kind of situation where we have a downtrend in play. So we have to let that play out before looking for the reversal. So we're leaning towards looking for a long here, but this downtrend needs to play out first. You don't want to trade against the trend, even if it's a short trend. So what we need to see is a little break, new low. That will mean the downtrend is over. And then if we get a nice bull bar here, we can take a long. Saif joining the Discord on Monday. Right on. We'll look forward to having you, Saif. I think we're about to get another. Look at that. Nice bar at the bottom, but it's in this downtrend. We can't take it. This is our little break. Saif, you can read all the descriptions of the different tiers of the Discord on my WAP page, which is, I think, the first link in the description. All the information's there. But the big difference between regular and premium is that premium has an access to like a live feed of my screen. The live trading room in the Discord that everyone has access to is a text channel. Share pictures of charts, upcoming setups, etc., market commentary throughout the day. I say exactly what I'm looking for, what I need to take a trade, and then premium members can also take a live look at a live feed of my screen. Mentorship doesn't look available. What? Mentorship should be available. I don't think let me check on that. I may not have reset the limit, so I'll check on that, but mentorship should be available. Yes, Saif, I do have 6 months and yearly subscriptions that are discounted. So if you decide to join and do one of those options, yeah, you get it at a better price. And you should see those options when you're selecting. All right, so here we go, guys. We have an opportunity for a failed breakout. We have gone kind of a bit low here on NQ for my liking, but we'll see. Might still get it. Looking for that nice bullish hammer. See if we can get it. Nope. Nope. Bearish body. And we do have a bullish hammer on ES, but it did not tick lower than the previous bar, so can't take that either. So close, so close. But we may have some more downside here. We have that overnight low that has not been tested just yet. Market kind of looks like it wants to go test it. See if we get a higher low here on ES. I might take that. Although the Nasdaq is looking pretty weak right now. I do not like this Nasdaq weakness. Watching to see how this bar finishes. It did tick higher. Maybe we can get in with a limit. I just don't like how far the Nasdaq pushed down. If the Nasdaq was right there at its range, this would be a no-brainer. Take that trade, but it's pushed down quite a bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to skip this. Not worth the risk, especially on a Friday. You want to take stuff that looks really solid. A+, right? And if both markets aren't necessarily agreeing, it lowers the probability. Still could work, right? Still could work. If I was just looking at this ES chart, I would take it. Like if your only focus is here, this looks pretty good to take this long. But watching the Nasdaq, look how far it pushed down. That looks more like it wants to come test that low than it wants to pop back up. So I need to be taking some heat on this one right now. I will say though, if we get a really solid higher low right now on the S&P, that'll convince me. If this bar turns around, ends up bullish, that'll get me in. Let's check it out. Let's see how this bar ends. Nope. Good skip. Good skip. That's why it is helpful to watch both the Nasdaq and the S&P, guys. It'll keep you out of some stuff like that. NQ is now at the overnight low. S&P is still hanging around here. If this bar ends really bullish, it's going to be pretty tempting. that ain't happening. All right. Well, I'm going to switch over to Discord. There's not going to be any immediate setups, but be watching the overnight low here on especially Nasdaq, because we're right at it. So watch and see if this level holds or breaks. That could set us up for a bearish trend if we can get below that and hold below it. And some of the tech names are dropping. That's why we're seeing this relative weakness on the Nasdaq. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today. Again, take advantage of those prop sales still going on. I haven't really talked about it in a while, but Take Profit Traders got a great sale. Tradeify is doing 35% off for everyone, straight to funded. So skip all the eval nonsense, just get to getting paid right away. And Apex obviously still 80%. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Hope it was a good week for you. Stay safe out there. This is not great price action just yet, so don't be trading with a lot of size or a lot of trades. Like, wait for things to develop. So peace, everybody. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.